My bad, y'all. Sorry. I ended the live by accident. Ugh. Come back. I'll give everybody a few minutes. I'm gonna drop the intro to see if people load back up. I apologize. Here we go. I'm sorry, y'all. I knocked out the live when I was trying to switch devices. Latoya, if you dare, you come back up or whatever. But we was just talking about how the industry is rearing its ugly head. Good morning, Sparkle. And how it's a lot of plants out here to divide and conquer and to confuse us. And it's up to us to use our logical minds. Seriously. Like Sparkle, I think Davin is a plant sent by Bad Boy to shut Jaguar down. I really, really do. Hey, Scarlett Somerville. Good morning. Thank you for joining. We was just talking about all the demonic things that are going on around us and just having open conversation. That was the first part of the live before I had technical difficulties trying to switch devices. Can everybody hear me okay? The gaslighting is real. The gaslighting is real, and people, you have to use your head. Like it's just a lot of evil things going on, and people will do anything for the attention and the clout and things like that. So it's important that we stay prayed up, number one. And number two, keep your eyes open and just know the devil is busy. The devil is busy on these YouTube streets. The devil is busy in Hollywood. Yeah, I think I hit the wrong button, y'all. So I apologize. I did not mean to end the live. But the devil is no longer hiding. He's in plain sight now. Good morning. I'm giving everybody a chance to load up. Let me text Toya. Come back, sis. I'll drop the link if anybody want to come up. Sound off of what about what they think that is going on in these YouTube streets. And I'll tell you, the devil is busy. YouTube has become the devil's playground. And I think things are closing in on Jaglier. I really do. But she's so full of herself. She's so narcissistic. She can't even see because she thinks she the best thing since sliced bread. They're going to try to silence her. They were on a night and day network. Yeah, so much was revealed. People are coming out. But that information, it took place on Clubhouse and came over night and day had it on their network. And one of the industry insider who was born and bred in the industry basically was like, look, I'm one of them people that don't mind effing my way to the top. That's the thing. That's what people do. That's where you get like the nod. He one of them people. Basically prostituting themselves just to get in rooms with certain people. It's a thing. It's a thing. Let me see. Does she come out? Okay. All right, what's Toya coming back? I be having so many doctor's appointments to keep up with, y'all. Not for myself, but for my mom, and just be like, And that's the question, Scarlett. Is it really worth it? You know, like, what are you willing to sacrifice for fame? Like, I don't want to be famous in that type of way. Um, I want to leave a healthy, clean legacy where people, when they think about me, they'll be like, wow, she really started something great. She spread a lot of love. She gave a platform where people could have a voice and things like that. And also, you know, I want to leave a legacy for my kids and I want them to be proud of me. But unfortunately, you got demonic spirits and false prophets out here trying to gaslight. But I don't really think it's worth it. Just like we went over the other day how Beyonce basically is banned from going to like public restaurants because um her going to a restaurant will incite like a riot, so to speak. Um and it's a thing, like it's a list of celebrities that just can't just go out in public like that. And it just made me think like as much as she has everything at her fingertips, it has to be very isolated not to be able to just be normal and say, let me get up and go to the store because I just want to go to the store, look around and stuff like that. Like, is it really worth it? Like, I like being able to get up and go. I like being able to get up and go. I like being able to have ownership of my life and not having to worry about oh my God, if I do this, I'm gonna sacrifice this in my career or whatever. The industry is a bait and switch. And so when you see all these people that are at the top and that have been at the top and been remained at the top and now they're like billionaire status, you have to think to yourself, what did they sacrifice to get there? Because they all have to sacrifice something. Oh, thank you so much, Shavy. I appreciate it. I've been busting my behind. I've been working since I'm 14 years old, you guys. I always been like a hustler in that way. Even before I could work, like I would find things to make money, shovel snow, whatever I needed to do. I didn't care, like as long as I had money in my pocket. I always been like that since I was a little girl. Like when I was a little girl, I'll tell you a story. And my mom still has this table to this day, but we had a solid marble coffee table in our living room, right? So I started finding coins in the house. And I would just go around. I think my parents and them, they started like leaving money after a while for me to find. But I just went through the whole house and I filled that whole coffee table with coins. But my dad was so proud of me, like, look at you saving money. Good for you, you know? I just always had like that hustler spirit. I never mind working hard. I never mind earning my life. Thank you so much. And that's the thing, like, and getting when I decided to YouTube, like, you gotta be humble and thank God for your blessings. And it was a scary thing for me to get out here because I wasn't a big social media person before all it is. I just realized that it was a necessary evil for my platform to grow or whatever. And a lot of YouTubers, this goes to their head, you know. And I just remind myself before I get on this platform of why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? And so that's why, like, I don't go on too many people's panels anymore because people have agendas and stuff like that. And people, content creators, will prey on you because they know you a supporter. You know what I'm saying? Because I do. I try to support the panels I could, that I could support. I do in whatever way that may be, whether it be liking, sharing, and stuff like that. Because that's what I want people to come over to my platform and do. So the energy you put out, that's the energy you get back. And I just think I just develop a nice group of subscribers where everyone has a right to their opinion over here, and I'm not here to judge anybody. Yeah, stay humble and kind no matter what. But people will try to take your kindness for weakness, unfortunately. And just know it's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, seriously. And on YouTube, people will turn on you just like that. Just like that. You just have to understand that nobody's really your friend. Everyone's bartering for your dollar and stuff like that. But y'all know, like, I mentioned one time, like, I accept donations on the channel and I leave it at that. You know, the main thing is that I like for my people to just like the video, share my content if you like what you're hearing and stuff like that. And I just don't proclaim to be something that I'm not ever. I just try to be as transparent as possible and things like that. And I don't have a bunch of secrets in my closet. Exactly. Shaby, your platform can be based on who you associate with on YouTube as well. Exactly. A lot of my subscribers discovered me on Perry's channel when I used to go up there, and I wasn't even pandering for my channel. I really was going on Perry platform just to have fun. It was just fun until it wasn't. You understand? Because even still, that got infiltrated with a whole bunch of scheming and people plotting to get channels and stuff like that. It be your own family, yo, that plot against you. That's why, like, like the attention game is dangerous. And so he had to shut down his whole platform because his brother started plotting against him with a redhead monster, all for some cootie cat. It's messed up. But legit, I went on Perry's platform just to have fun. That was my only motive. And then one day we was all up there and Perry, he was like, we gonna send everybody over to your channel. So that was his way of letting me know, like, he knew I had a channel, but I wasn't over there to promote my channel. I was just really over there to have a good kiki, laugh, and stuff like that. And that's that. But people started following me from there, and I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Like, Perry helped me come up, and I'm always grateful for that. And I would never like disrespect him or his wife or whatever. But yeah, That's when a lot of people really, really started to discover me. Because I wasn't really out here like that. Like, I built my platform homegrown right here. For whatever reason, I was like 1,000 subs. That's not hard. I think I can reach 1,000 people, and I did it. Yeah. You don't like to be the center of attention, Shavy? I don't need to be the center of attention. I just be me. Period. And I just know my energy attracts certain people because people think I'm nice and I am nice, don't get me wrong, but I don't take no shit. I really don't. My East Coast will come out on your ass real quick. But the main thing is, I watch and I observe people's patterns of behavior, and that's that. But Diva gave me the greatest advice, and she was like, just stay off people panels. That's the best thing to do. And she's right. Because, sometimes the subs be trying to pull you into mess that don't have nothing to do with you. And all this YouTube beef was here before I got here. So I'm not fighting nobody else's battles. And that's what people kill me jumping on hate trains. And these are just subs jumping on hate trains to drive a narrative so that, yeah, I love Diva. I love Diva. She came to my birthday party, Diva. But you just never know what people's agendas are, Shaby, so and people do things to distract you, just to drive attention to different channels and stuff like that. There are troll farms out here. There are troll farms out here. Oh, here it comes. Hey, Kim.
Hey. I was about ready to miss you. I've been on calls all this morning. I'm talking to my realtor, and then I said, "Oh, well, let me go click on TV while I get ready to get ready and all the rest of that." And I said, "Oh, there go my little baby."
We just talking about how the devil is busy on these YouTube streets, and people do anything to bring attention to their channels. They'll tear down whoever. And I was just getting into how we used to chill over at Perry Channel. And like, people didn't even know. Kim would tell you she was there. I wasn't over there marketing my channel and promoting my channel. And we was just really over there having a good time.
Yeah, we were having a good time. And then, I'm going to tell you something. I like that. I cherish the memories that I had with all of you guys because I met some good people there. Mm-hmm. I met you. I met Shay. I met my girl Sin City. She is hilarious. Mm-hmm. And Michelle GM. I met Bernita and Sin Red, even though the Sin Red part didn't turn out right. You know what I mean? But but at the same time, though, it was bittersweet. Because when you talk about the beef in the YouTube streets is real, I mean, it is real. Because in a way, I do regret my time there as it relates to Michael Stovall. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you something. The human in me understands Michael, okay? Mm-hmm. For one, Michael got abandonment issues. And when people have that abandonment issues and everything, they have a real need to belong, okay? Mm-hmm. And he really wanted to belong. But I think that his life's past and whatever he's done in his life, I don't know because I can't speak on it. Mm-hmm. But I think that he carries a lot of that with him. And somehow it has a disconnect in his relationships and how he views people and how he interacts with them. So all that cussing us out as women, I had a problem with it. I do believe that also, I didn't feel protected on that thing because I felt like he should have been removed way beyond that. But it wasn't my channel, so I couldn't say. But I enjoyed the platform that Perry had created with us, because I get to see you guys and chat with you all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when I would
Mhm.
see him come up, what I said is that since I don't control nothing, I can only control the controllables. So what I'll do is that when I see his A double double come up, I'll just go down. You know what I mean? And then until one day, that didn't work, and it was what it was. But it was fun. But because of all that, when Perry took his channel down and he had actually hitting some of his videos, I was kind of happy. I ain't gonna lie. And the reason why I was
Uh,
happy is because it was a lot of stuff that came on there that I wouldn't have wanted the public to see that, I was associated with, because I didn't try to involve myself in any of that. Because half that stuff ain't had nothing to do with me. Even though Michael might have said my name or whatever, his
mhm.
problem really ain't with me. He's battling something else. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then
He's
even though that has been back in May, I think, when the last time Perry had that show, with Michael bringing up our names again,
mhm.
and then I'm hearing about something else on the what you call that thing, on the members only. You know, I just find it is unfortunate that it's continuing to go on. But what I did realize though, and it's like Michael, because when Tin Red and I had fell out one time, you already know this, okay?
Mhm.
But I had to get her straight, you know what I mean? And then I'm just gonna say it like it is. I'm gonna stop trying to talk around it. Okay. I
Mhm.
had to let her know that I was Detroit and I wasn't no country bred ass heifer. Okay.
Period.
Period. Okay. And I had to let her know that I had to read her. I wanted to let her know they don't call me the librarian just to pick at me, because they call me the librarian because I can read a mofo. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I had to get that straight. But all she was she always had mess. She never liked anybody. Because you almost had to get with her one time, because I think she thought you were younger than what you were. You didn't have the sense that you have. And you was
Mhm.
like, what are you trying to say, Sin Red? And I was like, oh, look a little naughty.
No, because people take my kindness for weakness and they
They
think I'm
do.
not gonna speak up for myself. But
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is like going, and not that I've never been in prison, but I've seen a lot of prison story. I know a lot of prison story. It's kind of the thing you gotta stand up for yourself, or they going to punk you. They going to continue to punk you. You understand? And she was
Mm-hmm.
one. She wanted to control things for her own narrative or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I don't like, don't shush me. I'm a grown ass fucking woman.
Yeah.
Don't shush me. And I'll check you real quick. But she backed right off. Like when I was
Oh,
like,
she did, because that's the other thing. When I had to check her, she didn't say a word. I remember Vernita said, because Vernita had me on the phone, and before I knew it, just clicked and my mouth was gone. And Vernita was like, dang, Kim was like, you pulled her head back, it's like her neck, it was just like in and out. But the bottom line is this. What I realized, and what I told Sin, because she had tried to pull me in some additional stuff with Michael, because she just kept harassing Michael all of the time. She would call
mm-hmm.
him up on the phone and harass him. And I just told her that, hold on one second, let me pull this little.
Hey Nana, hey Fat.
Yeah. But what I told her is that I said, YouTube and everything is a virtual reality, okay? I said, but my reality, I don't screw with a lot of you mofos in regular life, and I'm not getting ready to do it on YouTube. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where I told her that, I said, you're negative. I said, you're messy. I said, and you don't bring light and love. Okay. I said, and that's what I try to do out here. All right. I said, there's something wrong with your inner whatever. Because she didn't even ask me for money. One day she blew up my phone. Blew up my phone. And I was like trying to take a nap, and she just kept blowing up my phone, blowing up my phone. And I'm like, what is the deal? So then I called her
Mm-hmm.
back and I was like, what is it? Ah, maybe it's going to cut off my phone and everything. And I don't understand what was happening and everything, because they was going to cut my phone. I didn't have no money. I said, for what? And she said, for a phone. I was like, you don't have money to pay your phone. She was like, well, I asked Adrian for it. I said, well, that's who you should ask. Since he always act like he want to get the cootie cat, then that's who you need to get your money from. I said, but don't ever call me again and ask me for my money, okay? I work hard for my money. I said, the phone bill is a basic necessity. Who can't pay their phone bill?
Seriously. And you know what? Ultimately, guys, for those who don't know, she had ulterior motive this whole time. From the time when she started plotting on Adrian, she thought she was going to be the next Sherelle's World.
She
Put it
did.
like
She did. She tried to. She gonna tell me. She said, you know, I'm gonna tell Sherelle that Diva ain't her friend. I said, she said, because I don't like Diva. I said, what has a Diva ever did to you? Okay.
that's evil because Diva closer to Sherelle than her. That's what the problem
But
was.
then not only that, you got to recognize that people typically don't like people because they see in other people what they don't have in themselves. I like Diva.
Jealousy.
Yeah, it's jealousy. There you go. I like the way Diva's. I like her persona. I like the way she carries herself. I like her level of intellect. Ain't nothing wrong with Diva. I like her style. There's nothing. So you're really jealous of that individual,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to encroach upon the space that she shares with Sherelle because you feel you should have that space that's closer to Sherelle that Diva is sitting in, and that's what you want. So I
True.
didn't say nothing. I just asked her why because I was just curious because I'm curious because I like to know who I'm talking to. Okay. And she went on ahead and said that to Sherelle, but I think the more she ran her mouth, the more Sherelle was able to see who she was. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just, and then another thing, because see, I'm going to say something all the time. She had a colorism problem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was
I
like,
recognize that.
she was like the jigaboos and the wannabes, and that used to really piss me off. So then she asked me one time, did I think that somebody didn't like her because she was light skinned? So I said, what the Jim Crow issues is you asking me? Well, I'm just asking you, I'm asking you. She would refer to Vernita a lot of times. I'm not going to say how she referred to, but as her color. Okay. And so when I
Mm.
asked her that, I said, that's disrespectful. I said, so then finally I told her, he said, you got a colorism problem. I said, I said, you act like you so light. I said, you act like you're not that light. I said, you and I ain't no different color anyway. I said, but you act like you so light that you passable. Okay. That's the only people back in the day that really got the preferential, it's the ones that was passable for the most part. I said, but in this day and age, I said, for me, I love my people. And the beauty of my people is that we come in all shades and hues.
That's right.
She is so
Educate her.
messed up. She hadn't talked to her. So she had told me she hadn't talked to her kid and God knows how long. I was like, who don't talk to that kid? I said, you need to fix that. Anything can happen. What if something happened to your kid? How would you feel? You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Me and my daughter, we had fell out. I had to show her who I was at times. And I'm not meaning in a bad way, but I mean my boundaries and what I'm expecting. But child, that's my baby. Okay, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what, all mama's always gonna be there. But mama not
Mm-hmm.
gonna put up with some of that stuff that you did, especially that moodiness and acting like you are grown, but you still need my help and all the rest of that. And then or calling me up and tell me everything. And when I try to give you feedback, I know you ain't gonna tell me, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
trust me, I'm going through that with mines right now. So
Yeah,
I
because
know.
you always want to know when they tell you, well, then if you know everything, why you calling me and asking me for my advice then? I mean, I don't get that part. So I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
get off the phone then since you know everything. And don't call me no more if you know it all. You know what I mean? Because that means you can fix your own stuff. So these YouTube streets can be really different. And I only use Sin Red because I mean, even in Sin Red, I'm not gonna say whether I like her or I dislike her. People are who they are, and they get to be who they are. I believe in living and let live. I'm just talking about who I desire to align myself with.
True.
Okay. And I don't want to align myself with that. And I just use her as a case point to show how these people are sometimes. You know what I mean?
On YouTube with the gaslighting, you gotta.
Yes.
People always have motive. If you see somebody showing up trying to, like, she would try to take over the panel and control the panel and stuff like that. I knew she didn't like me. I didn't care. The feeling was mutual. You understand? I didn't care. I don't come up here for your validation. And she thought she
Hmm.
was gonna move me around like she do other people. And I'm that one. Right? This is the life you want to have, sis. You wish you had my smarts and my brain. And you doing all this to get a YouTube channel. All you gotta do is type in how to start a YouTube channel on YouTube for free.
Hmm.
But she
And then
one
she
of them
want to act like she
entitled
was
people.
Oh yeah, and then she wanted to act like she was rich because I had to tell her one day and everything. Oh, matter of fact, she asked when we fell out, and then she asked me for that money. I said, "What you need to stop doing is acting rich in public when you really broke in private." Okay,
Own
period.
who you are. That's the thing. Walk in your truth. It's a lot of people on these YouTube streets just fronting.
There's a lot of people in life just fronting. You know what I mean?
Period. But they trying to make a persona for something it's not. But you know what? She gonna
Hmm.
get her karma is coming for her. Cause the way
Hmm.
she pined after Adrian and got mad at anybody, that's why she didn't like me, y'all. Cause I used to just talk to Adrian. Cause you're not gonna tell me who I can talk to and who I can't.
Hmm.
And y'all together, so what? I don't care. I'm not trying to get with him.
Mm-mm.
You know what I
And she was
mean?
mad because one time she had a three-way conversation, and she had put me on with her and Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian said, she asked Adrian something. He said, I really like Kim. He said, because she was the first one that was nice to me. And so then she was like, what do you mean? I was mean, whatever. I said, that was not you. I said, it was me. Okay. And that was when you guys were having a conversation. We were all having a conversation. And Adrian was trying to talk about what he wanted in a woman. And that was for him and seeing had got really together, and y'all was trying to tell him, well, I don't want a man that don't want none, that don't know what a woman he is. I said, you are back up off of him. I said, because the thing about it is everybody ain't driven like us. It takes all people to to make the world go round. This is a simple man. He don't want nothing but a woman, a job, and a house over his head. That's it. And his liquor. Okay?
Yep.
That's all he
And his
wants.
liquor.
His liquor.
Hold on, Kim.
Hmm.
Nana, we talking about the days when we used to be on Perry Panel with Sin Red, Vanita, Bobo, who else?
Leroy.
Leroy. When we used to have Saturday Night Live over at Perry Channel, and it was infiltrated with people with ulterior motives, thinking they're going to get a channel. And I started the conversation like how I just went over there to just have a good time, and I ended up meeting some great people. Me and Kim have been friends ever since from there.
Hmm.
Spun off and done things. Vernice, I love Vernice. Still stay in contact with her or whatever. And it's some good relationships that came out of there. But we talking about the venom that was up there trying to control things. And Sin Red she's very she's a colorist, and she's
Hmm.
very mean in spirit, and she's very calculated and manipulative.
Right, and it was nobody on the panel that she didn't have nothing to say about, probably including me too. You know what I mean? Even though,
I think she talked about all of us, but I
yeah,
mean, thank God I'm valid in who I am, and I don't care what that lady think of me.
oh, yeah, I'm validating who I am anyway. And then God said everything He made was right and just, so I figured that mean me too.
I'm just really at a place in life, Kim, where like that jealousy thing I don't do. Like I'm comfortable with where I am in life and what I have built for myself in life. You understand? Like,
Well, I'm going to be 63 this year, so for me, for one, I paid my dues. I've done a lot, and I really don't care. I mean, I am authentically me.
mm-hmm,
And what I concern myself with more is with my spiritualism and everything else is living my life to live again. Because when I
mm,
pass this world, I know in my beliefs, not everybody else's, but in
mm-hmm.
my beliefs, I don't believe that it's just one time you come through and that's it. So I believe that what you do in this world determines what's going to happen in your next one. So I just try to live my life to live again. That's what one of my old aunts used to say. I'm just living to live again.
I like it.
But yeah, so I think that was it. And like I said, it's not to even, I don't care what Cimbria does one way or the other. It's important to me who I align myself with. And everybody that's in my circle that I have are people that uplift one another. We want to see the best for one another. We support each other. There's no backbiting in
Mm-hmm.
anything. We even tell each other the truth. I got some girlfriends who be like, girl, listen. And I listen to them because I trust what they say. And moreover, I know who they are and I know that they love me. They will never tell me anything that's going to take me
Mm-hmm.
down. And if they telling me something, it's because I need to hear it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's just it. And people need to understand YouTube is just YouTube. You don't know these people in real life.
Because that's how I got scammed, remember? Got
You don't.
scammed by Mama Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Took a
Yeah,
hundred and
that
fifty dollars from
I
me.
and here it is. I'm up there green, thinking that they really mother and son,
No, you
and
did.
she was a whole plant. But Michael
But I
revealed to
thought
me
she was a sweet lady and everything, and that heifer scammed $150 from me. Okay,
they was raising money for her and everything.
yeah, and
I did not
and
give to that fund.
yeah, I know. Well, I was the one that did the administer, and then because I got see, that, but that thing taught me. I'm not too old to learn lessons. Okay, so it taught me a
Mm-hmm.
lesson. I had because I'm a good person. I think everybody else is a good person. And then when I had sent her the card, I sent her the wrong card, and she was like, "Oh, you sent me a Google Play card, not an Amazon gift card." And I'm gonna tell you something though, and this is to listen to your spirit. I said, "Well, I'll
Mm-hmm.
send it to you." As soon as that came out of my mouth, my spirit was convicted, and God said, "You bet don't send that to her until you've gotten that car back." But I was busy working in the field that day and everything else. And I said, I don't know when I'm going to do it. Let me just do it right now. Because it just so happened I had just got into my car from one event or meeting or something. I said, well, let me just do it before my next.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that woman kept the card that she had and said was the wrong card and the new one I sent her. But I tell you what, I learned a valuable lesson. You ain't got to
Yep.
ever worry about me doing that again. And the other thing is that she didn't stop my blessing. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. But I was like, I don't know this lady. I'll say a prayer for her. But all that donating, like she ain't gonna donate to nothing for me.
No, she's not. And then, but I felt, but everybody that donated and everything that did go to her and whatever, it doesn't matter because, in the spiritual realm, you know, whatever it's not even spiritual realm, it's a spiritual realm and in science, okay? For
Mm-hmm.
every equal reaction, for every action, there is a equal or subsequent reaction, okay?
Yep.
So she gonna get hers back because it's called karma, okay?
Exactly. And then I'm glad I listened to my gut in that instant. And then Michael revealed, like, oh, that's not my real mother. I said, boy,
Oh
bye.
yeah, we knew that wasn't her real mother anyway. She was playing like that and everything, but it was just so you got to be careful. You know what I mean? But I have a benevolent heart though, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why. Because my tagline is Kim delivers, and I did this. That my tagline is Kim delivers because I used to sell cars. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
when you deliver a car, okay, and then my other line was driven to serve, but because you drive a car, it's play on words. But the bottom
Mm-hmm.
line is that that's the truth about me. I have a spirit of service and I love to serve people. That's why I love working with the seniors now and doing things like that. So, you know, what I did was authentic to who I am. But now I just have to realize that I have to be more cognizant of who I do what for.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I just try to use the spirit of wisdom when I'm
Hmm.
navigating these new YouTube streets and stuff like that. Cause I think my calling is to motivate people. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
People look at me as motivation and things like that. But like I just when they was taking up that collection, I'm like, what we doing this for again? I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Mm-mm. I'll support
Hmm.
the channel, but that's as far as it goes for me.
Yeah, well, that's what he did, though. He said all the cash apps, all his cash apps, he was going to give to her.
Mm-hmm.
And Shay said all we had to do was ask her. Yeah, Shay, but I did know that, Shay, that wasn't when they had started that because she started that because she felt, and I should have known this based on how they became mother and son. She was upset because she felt like everybody was picking on Michael. But if you
Mm-hmm.
gonna support Michael, then that must mean birds and feathers flock together. So you thinking a lot
Uh-huh.
like him. That should have been my first telltale sign.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that when I say I bring light, I mean that feel like that's a motivator too. And being a service of others motivates people too. Because there's a lot of people who don't feel like there's much in the world for them. And when they see that people care about them, that does matter and help a lot of times.
Exactly. But it also is key to like to make sure you have independent thinking and you don't
Oh
get away
yeah.
from yourself in this. Um I got my first back door with Kim and them, right? Remember? Remember, yeah, remember we was in the back room. They was like, Naughty, what you doing over there?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
But see, people need to understand about me. I'm not one to just follow the leader or jump on the bandwagon just because everybody on the bandwagon. I judge people for myself. I get to know them for myself, and I make my assessment from there. And that was my lesson to learn, But people didn't understand what my motive was. You know what I mean? It just went as far as like, okay, I went in his chat. Everybody was like, "Hey, Naughty, what's up?" Bigging me up and stuff like that. He dropped the link for me
Mhm.
or whatever, and we sat up there and I questioned him. I even questioned his sexuality. I was like, "You think you come at women because?" And he got uncomfortable. You saw him get uncomfortable, Kim, when I asked that.
Mhm. But he went on other channels though and said who he was, and then his cousin went on there too, and that's why I said that because here's the deal though for me, I believe in live and let live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
That's up to God to handle. That ain't up to me to handle. You know what I mean? Now, whether
Mm-mm.
or not I choose to deal with a person is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but everything that we are make us into who we are. So
Mm-hmm.
he admitted his own self that when he was in prison, he had to do some strange things for some changes. Wasn't nobody putting no money on his book, but he
See?
was disrespectful. But he disrespected her too. Michael was a whole mess. Yeah, he eventually did because he doesn't have any loyalty. You know, Michael, okay, when people are abandoned, like he was, because he said his mother didn't want him, and then he had to go to his grandmother. And I don't know how many people his grandma, I don't know what his case was, but a lot of times it's like a feral animal. You know what I mean? Well, like if you see a feral child that was born in the woods or something like that. Um,
Exactly.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shay B, I hear you, but at the end of the day, I'm a big girl and I'm comfortable with who I am at the end of the day. So it wasn't nothing he could say or do to compromise me.
See, that wasn't my thing with you because I asked you the question too. When I asked you the question, I was really trying to find out because I liked you. You know what I mean? We hadn't got
Mm-hmm.
to know each other yet, but I like to ask people questions so I can probe and determine where they are. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew how he disrespected women, and I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to see if I said, Nadi, you know how he disrespect women? I said, but you're going on his channel. I'm trying to figure out why would you support him and you know how he's done. And then when you told me that you're an independent thinker, you want to find out for yourself. And then you said, I also got 2 subs. And I was just asking the question. And then if you saw the questions I asked him was real, Kim. And I couldn't say nothing, but you're right. Because you did
I
ask
got
him the real questions. It wasn't like you was kissing his tail or nothing like that.
mm-mm.
You went up there and you asked a question that people wanted to know.
I'm just not scary like that. You know what I mean? So
And
whatever
then,
comes
and then, and then he was getting pissed at you. But your man at the time was walking around through their house and he didn't want to say nothing.
mm-hmm.
Now, if
Mm-hmm.
I believe that if your man he might have tried to get snarky. But that's just my estimation. That may not have been the
Mm-hmm.
estimation of Michael's opinion, because I ain't trying to have no beef with him, but
Cause you know
I
he
am.
love to keep our name in his mouth.
Yes, because I ain't trying to have no beef with him. Because I respect Michael. Michael got to be who he is for him. He got to do what he does for him, and his stuff seems to be working. He got a following. He has a loyal following. Okay, so whatever he's doing, he appeals to a certain niche.
He
So
does.
he got something on. He's smart, and I tell you what. As much as Sin Red harassed him and told him that she seen people over his house, she had cousins to be there, and she would do this that, and the other, and if she wants a channel. He got one up and running and got way more followers and is monetized before her and Adrian ever will be. Okay.
I'm telling you. And they're not that interesting.
No, and
Um,
so and then one thing about it is that he is funny. You know what I mean? And sometimes he is funny, crazy as the hell, but he's funny. So he can keep. I shouldn't say funny. He's entertaining, is what I should say. He's
mm-hmm.
entertaining, so that's why he's able to get somebody. And then I'm also saying that you see the structure of Adrian's channel. Michael has a certain intellect, he's able to pull people up. He able to put up his little stories on the thing. I mean, he has the acumen to be able to navigate through StreamYard and his YouTube to keep his channel going and do different things. He even got a backup channel, okay? So
Exactly.
she can say what she may about Michael, but he doing the thing is all I'm saying.
He know how to navigate his technology, and
He sure does.
I can give credit where credit is due. Look, there's a sector for everybody and everything in
Right.
this
That's what
app,
I'm saying.
and he, just like Jaguar, got her loyal following.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to say it, yeah, Adrian does have a channel. Adrian and Sin, right? They got a couple channel.
No, they said no. Adrian has a channel on his own. I haven't yet to see the couples channel, but uh, Michael had pulled up Adrian's picture, and it had Adrian Lloyd on there. So all you gotta do is Adrian Lloyd, and you'll pull him up on thing. But it's nothing there. He's tried, but you could tell that he hasn't mastered it yet. So he has a lot of videos that have absolutely no content, no time in it, because I don't think he knew how to do it yet.
And all they gotta do is type it into YouTube. YouTube will show you how to do it. Shay B says he got loyal followers. I don't know why. Because people like the mess.
Mm-hmm.
People like the
And that's a
mess.
whole subject we're talking about now, these YouTube beasts in the YouTube streets.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's a look, I just really try to pride myself. I ain't saying I'm perfect. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to build an honest platform of genuine followers. I didn't want to have to do trips and flips to get followers. Always wanted to build my platform naturally from the
Mm-hmm.
ground up, and that's what I did. And I think that's why a lot of people hate on me, because I ain't have to ask nobody to do anything for me. But this is what I do all day, people, at work with this computer stuff, sharing screens. I just applied the skills that I use at work to YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Because I had talked to when we had first started talking, Vernita and Sid and I, and that was before I got to understand them a little bit more. I had told him, I said, I wanted to do a YouTube channel because I already have a YouTube channel. It's Kim Delivers. But that was when I hid most of my videos because they were all about cars. Okay. I think I didn't hide one that has gotten a lot of reviews, and that was over telling people how they don't know that there's equity in their leases when they get ready to turn them in. But anyway, so I could always revive it. So I was telling them that I was thinking about reviving it because on Facebook, my presence is mostly on Facebook, and me and my Facebook friends and stuff like that, we get in a lot of conversations there. I was like, some of these conversations are good to take onto a YouTube channel. So they're like, oh, I would love to
Mm-hmm.
do it. I would love to do it too. But as I got to know them, well, Renita wasn't that inclined, and then I found out that Sim was really too messy for me, and she wasn't positive. She didn't exemplify what I wanted to display on my channel. So I figured that, I couldn't do it. So I just told him, I was honest. I said, well, I couldn't do no show with you all. I'm just going to do my stuff on my own. If y'all want to do something on your own, fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And thereafter is when she said that her and Adrian called me one day, and they said they were going to do it. They're getting a channel together. And I said, what are you going to, I said, oh, what's your channel going to name? What she said, because that's what Adrian used to always say. Whatever Sin said, he would say what she said, meaning that was his opinion too. Whatever she said. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, but I never saw that come up. So right now, only thing I think they have is Adrian's. Mm-hmm.
Well, she being dragged in these YouTube streets. That's probably why she don't want to come out too much right now. Because Michael did drag her. Then she got dragged again by another content creator. I'm gonna leave it there. But YouTube is not for everybody.
Mm-mm.
Seriously. And just when you think you built for it, you not. And you
Mm-mm.
better make sure you're you clean, because people do dox you,
Mm-hmm.
and they do dig in your business. You opening yourself up to be a public figure.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know. I just, like Sin is good when she is in a controlled setting, like when she used to be on Sherelle's World. You know, when it was a topic at hand, she was good in
Mhm.
that aspect. But her spirit as a human being is tainted to me.
Mhm.
It's just tainted, and I know she ain't never like me, and I ain't never give a fuck. Never,
Mhm.
never ever gave. Because I'm not one of them people that walk around looking for validation from everywhere and everybody. I know how to validate myself. I know how to make myself happy, make myself feel good, and things like that. And all that came through me going through depression and things like that. So I've learned tools, I've acquired tools to
In
learn how
life.
to deal with myself. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And what I have become comfortable with is myself. Like I'm okay being by myself. Kim, you see me, I be rolling by myself a lot.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I do, because it's just
Mhm.
less complicated that way.
Oh, for
And
sure.
I don't got to worry about nobody spreading my business that way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, heck yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't roll. I mean, I roll by myself in a way, but I do have a big. Um, I do have a wide group of friends now. Not some that I
Me
just
too.
talk to all the time. You know, some of them, you know, that we don't talk to rarely, but we still cool. You know, and I love them to death, and they love me. And if there's anything I need or anything they need, they'll be there. But the bottom line is that when you find authentic people in your life, you know, you keep them in your life. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
feel, you know. And but even though I talk a lot and I'm on here and and I'm out in the public a lot with the events and stuff I do, and I don't know if it's just me as an individual or maybe the nature of being a Scorpio, but I need a lot of me time too, because I need to be able to regroup and get recentered with who I am, you know, because that matters to me. Because I always got to make sure that I'm being to thine own self being I'm being true, and part of that is a lot of self love too, you know. And a lot of people they don't become introspective to who they are, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing with in red, you know. So she's not introspective, and a lot of times it's like you said, you have to do the work on yourself. A lot of times when people look at themselves, they find out exactly how much work they got to do with themselves. And that's a heavy undertaking that they choose not to deal with. So they rather play the ostrich and put their head in the sand.
Exactly. It just gives me a lot of self-centeredness. She don't really care how she affect people as long as she get what she want in the end.
Hmm.
In the end. So yeah, these YouTube streets are messy. And that was my first lesson over there on Perry Panel, experiencing how deep the mess can go. And then it spinned off from there because then Michael started traveling around to other channels, thinking he could do the same thing. And I'm just watching, like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. And that's where it did not spin off from. He got into a beef with Michael.
Yeah, well, then there was that one guy, I forgot what his name was. King's World or somebody.
That's where it all started from.
From
So
people,
from
this one guy, he actually did a series of videos by going back onto Michael's channel and evaluating each one of his videos. And he called him Biscuit, remember?
yes.
So, I mean, that thing blew up. And then Perry had did some shows on him and he called him Blue Shirt. So, you know, it was a lot of back and forth. See, I don't want to do all that stuff.
That's a lot of energy wasted, but I'll sit back and watch it, chill, so I can see everybody faces.
Yeah, well, sometimes I can't even watch all that stuff. You know, somebody bring my attention to it, but I just can't take all that stuff into my psyche. Some of that stuff, I just can't take all that in my psyche. I really can't.
Nah, I get it. I get it. And that's why you see me, like, I take breaks when I want to take breaks.
Hmm.
I try to be consistent, but I don't commit to times and stuff like that because I have a whole full-fledged life going on around me that I'm
Right.
managing and stuff like that. And YouTube is really like a place where I could go. It is it's therapeutic.
Hmm.
We have real conversations, and that's why I
Hmm.
wanted it. I wanted a platform and things like that. But at the end of the day, I have to keep reality and perspective at all times. And I know
Hmm.
what my responsibilities and priorities are, you know?
Hmm.
And guess what? I don't stress myself if I miss a story and stuff like that. I don't have to be the first to break a story either.
Mm-mm.
I try to be on top of it, yeah, but I'm not putting that pressure on myself. YouTube don't pay me that enough for all of that. But I did recognize that you gotta study people and their patterns of behaviors before you kind of commingle. And let me tell you, the women on here are very, very catty, territorial, and things like that. And when you get a toxic spirit like a, i.e., Jaguar, right, and do not, people
Mm-hmm.
are attracted to them. You understand? You understand there's people at home, they don't have no life or whatever. This is excitement for them. And that's why
Yeah.
they gain a following. They like the salaciousness.
And then not only that, is a lot of the reason why probably Jerry Springer's show
Hmm.
was so exciting. I heard one person, I said, why do you even watch Jerry Springer? And they said, because Jerry Springer lets me know that my life ain't that bad.
See? And before Jerry Springer was Richard Bay. Y'all remember Richard Bay, the Big Booty Judy concerts?
Hmm.
Yes, Richard Bay was before Jerry Springer.
I'm going to
Jerry
Google
Springer kind
him.
of shut him down and took him off the map because Jerry
Mm-hmm.
Springer went into the trailer parks for real. Okay?
Oh, yeah, for real.
For real, for real. The gut. He gonna show it
He was
all.
in the gutter.
He was in the gutter. He said, I'm gonna show the black side, I'm gonna show the white side, I'm gonna show
Mm-hmm.
the LGBT. Jerry was never scared. Mm-mm.
Ever. Okay, man, so rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. But there's been salacious characters from before all of this YouTube stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just remixed it and brought it on the YouTube platform. It's same formula.
Yeah, so yeah, but I said that to mean that basically I think a lot of people tune in too because maybe, they're dealing with things in their lives and they see that and they were like, well, hey, my life ain't that bad.
Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes I watch certain things just like, mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. Yep. And they be talking about us. Like we tearing the country down. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for research, to be quite honest. And y'all see, I go to the park, I be people watching.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who around me. That's why y'all don't even understand how many times I watch the ID channel or TV1 have they had how they had the shows For My Man and all like that. How
Mm.
many times I watched shows on there and it was about a particular person I knew from my area
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up on that show. I just want to know who around me.
Yeah, and then I'm going to tell you, I find people interesting, and not only do I find people interesting in regards to Fed saying, but I deal with people a lot. So in order to be able to identify and connect with some people, because I deal with people and I deal with people in sales. So need to be able to connect with certain people to be able to get paid.
Mm,
And I'm not trying to say like I'm an opportunist, but that's my job. You know what I mean? And I have to deal with people in sales. The only color and everything you deal with is one thing, and that's green. So you don't care about who you selling to. It's all walks of life. You know what I mean? So in order to do that, you got to know how people are and operate.
exactly. So like I just study people and their behaviors, just so I could grow as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
And
then we
in
don't
my
live in this world by
perspective.
ourselves either. So we do live with other people, and then you know who to align with and who to keep away from. Also.
Exactly. And look, I was gonna go up and approach you because y'all know I'll pull up on anybody. You got something to say it to my face so it's not said. But I was gonna pull up on him and I was sitting back watching him and I was like, I can't even be bothered with this shit.
No, don't. And besides, it don't even matter.
It
Okay,
don't, because
it
my
really
product
don't
is going
matter.
to speak for itself at the end of the day. Like, you mad because I did it better than you, but he getting his following. And like I said, don't knock the player, hate the game. Okay, like
And then
Michael is
again, like
playing the
I said
game.
though, is that you have to understand. I mean, we all have to understand that he has some issues, some abandonment issues. So it's not you; it's more of him. You know what I mean?
He's
Right,
projecting
right,
his
right.
issues onto YouTube, and I get it. I get it. And it's a whole
Mhm.
lot of projecting going on these YouTube streets. Oh, you see what James said? He said y'all lives are interesting and entertaining. Like I feel like my life is lit, quite
Mhm.
frankly. I be doing a whole lot. And people be like, girl, you always doing this. Yes. I mean, the point of life is living, right?
Mhm.
So I'm living.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is that we could say, "Oh, but we can't about Michael." But we haven't lived his life. Okay, he's had a hard life and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and so his projection is something different. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that his life is different than ours. So we may not understand the way he acts and the way he reacts to certain things. But if you haven't really had somebody there for you, the only person you had maybe was one person who loved you unconditionally with was your grandmother, but other people couldn't accept you for who you are, whatever. We've never had to deal with that. So we don't know how that affects you or how that could change you.
Exactly. Walk a mile in a person's shoes. Seriously. Like before you judge.
Right. So that's all I'm just saying. I can't, and that's why when I'm saying all that to say that, I can't say, I don't judge him one way or the other. Michael is Michael.
That's it.
We don't run in the same circles. That's all it is.
That's it. That's it.
Hmm.
We do different things. He has his sector and I have mine. Period.
Right. And I got to give him kudos. No matter what people have said about Michael, he got his stuff going, okay?
He's still there. He's
He's
still
still
hanging
there,
in there.
and he monetized. Okay, he monetized, and and people sending money and everything else, and he's got a following, and it seems like to be a loyal following, and they support him.
That's it.
On that one video, he said that when his house got popped up, that there was one lady who got him a hotel room for 2 days and was like she was going to do it more, but he told her no. And the lady came on there and verified it. Okay, so the bottom line is that whatever he doing something. People, he's resonating with people.
And they want to support him. So I'm not going to ever hate on anybody in the way they get their bag. You know what I mean?
Amen.
But I see him for who he is. He could get disrespectful and belligerent
Yeah.
and things like that. I just know that about him.
Right.
And so I just stay away. So
Hmm.
keep it
And now
going,
he don't call
Michael.
me one. He don't call me one too many batches. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
good on that now. And I've been enough
Yeah.
batches. And the
But
other day,
it's projecting.
hmm right, but I get that it's projecting, but I'm just saying I don't want to be. I don't want it to project on me. I'm tired. I don't want to be called no batches no more.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
good on that.
And see, and you know what? I really feel like the reason why men are so comfortable calling women batches because we call each other that.
Yeah, well, I don't.
But I'm just saying that's what we call each other that. So they like, well, if they gonna call each other that, what's the harm if I say it?
Right,
That's
and
how
I
they
do believe.
thinking. It's just
Hmm.
like the ninja word.
Yeah, I hate
As
that
much,
too.
you know what I'm saying? But look at our community, all down south. They call each other ninja all day long, and some
Hmm.
people try to make it like, um, oh well, we redefining the meaning behind it, but it just the stigma behind it and the legacy behind it and how
Hmm.
it all came about. That's what's insulting about it all, and to just like embrace that word, it's just so demeaning when you say it or whatever. And trust me,
Hmm.
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've used it, in heated discussion. You know what I'm saying? I've used it
Hmm.
or whatever, but I just try not to engage
Hmm.
and using that language. Everybody have a slip up, but like as I got older, certain things just started to bother me or whatever. Even when a man curses at a woman now, that bothers me
Hmm.
because I feel like you should respect a woman as a lady.
Well,
But
I agree with you, but that's why I was saying the other day where a lot of women don't have a lot of we don't, all across the world we don't get the respect that we deserve, and when it comes down
Mm-hmm.
to caste systems, that we are the lowest on the totem pole. I mean, actually, in all actuality, when did we get voting rights? We didn't get that not too long ago. And, so a lot of that happens, but they don't feel like they regard us. They should regard us with the but I'm gonna tell you something though, and people might get mad, but I'm just gonna say it as it is, or may take exception, not get mad. But
Mm-hmm.
it's more of our culture that does that to us. I find that, I don't think, well, and I don't know because I'm not in the other cultures. So maybe that, but I don't really hear them downgrading their women in song or in word. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we got to bring value back to our community, Kim,
Mm-hmm.
and educate people about the history of where some of these degrading sayings come from and labels come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that we just have the conversation.
That's a
Well,
cute sweater you got on. You cold over there?
thank you. It was chilly this morning when I went
A
walking.
little all off the shoulder, girl. Oh, look at you. You got a
It's
whole
a
set.
yeah.
Look at you
Mm-hmm.
looking all cute, girl. Just to be sitting over there doing your work.
Thank you, thank you. I'm about to get ready to get out of here, guys,
Yeah,
because
I
I
got a
got to
meeting and
go
everything. I
to
got
a
to get out of
meeting.
here.
Y'all see, I'm getting prepared, but I just wanted to jump on here and kick it with y'all because I really didn't have a show plan, but I just had some things on my mind, so I was like, let me jump
Mm-hmm.
on here, and now I'm more clear, so I'll be able to get through my workday. Thanks to y'all, appreciate all of y'all
Thank you.
joining
I
me.
like what Shay said too. That's how I feel. I'm only accountable for myself because that's all we can
Yes.
control is ourselves.
And and when people stop trying to control others and project their beliefs on the other people, they'll be in a lot happier place. Like people have a right to believe what they want to believe. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
agree with it, but you can't then go out and project and try to correct grown people. You need to
Mm-mm.
let adults be adults.
Right.
Period. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the show there. Queen, I
All
hope you
righty,
have a
lady.
wonderful, blessed day. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, always. Love you.
Love you too. Please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button so that you can be notified when I update content to my channel. Make sure you're following me on all my different social media platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook and TikTok. Thank you so much, Nikwa. Thank you so much. So that's kind of the history behind me and Kim and how we got together and things like that. And we still standing strong. And like Vernice, y'all always welcome over here in my house. That ginger chick, you got to get a little more humble and a lot more accountable. And I'm willing to wave the white flag and have an alliance. But yeah, be safe, Nikwa. I love all you guys, seriously. And guess what? I even embrace my haters. And I want to say thank you in case I don't thank you enough. I love them too. I embrace my haters. I hope all of you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Seriously. If y'all got any stories, send them into my DMs on the ground. Stay prayed up. Keep your head up. Know your worth. Know that you're loved. You're worthy of love, respect. Okay? Always stand in your truth. Walk in your truth and be transparent at all times. I love you guys. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One.